Timeless reading for Aquarius, starting with the card Lady Fortune, followed by the Rainbow, Thief, the Maiden, Healer, and the White Dragoness. So there's something about an easy passing, a smooth passing, a bridge, something or someone is being enabled to leave. I do not see the thief as a literal thief. I see the thief as a person who is packing his or her stuff, finally leaving a place, a house, a situation, a workspace, a person, I don't know, traveling overseas, could be anything. This thief, whether it's a man or a woman, is leaving, and I feel like this person is very burdened, not literally by the stuff they have to carry, the objects they have to take with them. This person is emotionally burdened, not by the fact that they have to leave, because I feel like they've been wanting to leave for a very long time, but it wasn't possible for a very long time. Something felt to them like a prison, even though they have done nothing wrong. They were stuck in a burdening situation, and there was no way out. So they could not leave. There was no bridge. It is, as a metaphor, like standing on one side of a huge and maybe dangerous lake or ocean, and you want to reach the other side. But you can't swim through this water because it is dangerous, and you have no boat, and there is no one or no material to build a boat. So you're just sitting there wondering how you will ever cross this water. And that's what I mean, like there is a bridge here between Lady Fortune and the thief, or the person, the querent, the protagonist here in the reading. This rainbow represents to me a bridge in this situation, a very harmonious bridge. It's also like it's appearing in a very magical way. And even the light is shining, the sun is shining onto this bridge. It's like it's appearing out of nowhere, and you can just take it. Like this thief might have tried to figure out so many things to cross this water, but there was no way ever. And maybe for years they've been trying to figure something out, some logical and reasonable way to make this happen, but there was no option. And then out of nowhere, like it's a spiritual gift somehow, this bridge is opening in front of them, and they just have to walk across the water to the other side, or across the rainbow. And now we are jumping to the first card finally. So this component is what makes it happen. You can take it very literally. Lady Fortune is raining her blessings on this person. Maybe this person is you. Maybe you were stuck and you couldn't leave. So there's a lot of luck here. The wheels are turning in your favor. And there might not be something that you have done. Maybe you have been trying to do a lot of things to make it happen, but nothing worked out. And now it's just happening. And you didn't even do anything. You just waited and wondered and waited and wondered, and nothing worked. Nothing could be figured out. Until luck is just being showered on you. And while you are very relieved and glad that finally this stuck situation is over, you still feel the emotional burden of the past, maybe years. And you might even feel like a loser in some way, like, oh my God, I've been trying to make this work for so long, and no matter how hard I tried or how hard I thought about it and how hard I acted on it, and whenever I tried to build a ship, I could not find any wood, or I didn't know how to build a ship, or this and that didn't work. And now it's just falling into my lap. I mean, I'm glad I'm getting out of here, but somehow I wish I would have been the one who made it happen. But in this situation, it feels like you're not. It's just luck. And it might make you feel weird. And I think that is something that you will have to overcome. That there's something about guilt or shame, about not being enough, not being capable of something, not being competent. If you're a man, it could be the case that you feel emasculated somehow because you thought you were someone who is a doer, very active, and suddenly you couldn't act anymore. And then you might feel like, okay, in this situation I was so powerless. I am used to be the doer. I'm used to be the one who makes things happen. And for years, this one thing, I couldn't make it happen. And now it's just falling into my lap. On one hand, I'm glad. On the other hand, I feel like I should have been the one who made it happen. But it's a spiritual lesson here. The rainbow is usually a very spiritual card when it comes up. It is meant to be this way. It could even be that Lady Fortune is representing a feminine spiritual source that from a non-earthly level has always been watching you, and they let you do, and they let you win, they let you succeed in situations. And then this spiritual guidance put a stop. Because they say, okay, this person is always the doer, this person is always so active, it's good. But now I want to teach this person a lesson of learning, a lesson of waiting, of being passive, of not being the doer. Just wait, 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 wait. Just receive, don't do. You have done so much. In this situation, you have to be passive and wait. And that can be very painful for some people. Or unbearable. And now that this person, this Lady Fortune, this spiritual being has decided, okay, this poor person has been waiting for so long, now I will make the situation unstuck, shower it with some luck, so this person can finally move on. But the spiritual lesson still continues because, as I said, while this thief is passing the rainbow, on one hand relieved, on the other hand super disappointed that they weren't the doer in this situation. But this is a possibility for a spiritual awakening for this person, realizing that there is a greater source beyond their mind, beyond their body, that is actually guiding them. And when this person is passing the rainbow, it is already starting to reflect upon that. But when it has reached the other side of the rainbow, the other side of the ocean, this person might even find this spiritual being there in some kind of way, inwardly or outwardly, doesn't matter. And for some of you, this could be because she has some coins. The coins can just be a metaphor for some kind of inner fulfillment, for good luck. But for others, if you were in some dire needs for financial improvement, this is what could come here as well. We have, there's something objective about here in the cards. There are coins, there is a bag full of things. So maybe if there was a lack in some area, this hole might be filled as well. Yeah, regarding money issues, again, we have a maiden here. And thinking of the Middle Ages, they were, the poorest of society. Not the poorest. I think beggars were poorer than maidens. Yeah, but you know what I mean. The maiden but does not only have to represent something financial. The maiden is also one of the youngest cards in my deck. It can just represent youth or apprenticeship, being a student, going to school, learning something. So there is the topic of learning something spiritual here. No matter how old you are, you could be 80 years old. And just saying that, I'm suddenly remembering something that I forgot, that I immediately saw when I looked at the cards, but I forgot to mention it. For some of you, there is someone around you. Speaking of making the passing of someone very smooth and peaceful, there could be something about death here that maybe you worried about. So I'm not saying someone will soon die and it will be a surprise for you. It's more like you already know that someone around you will soon die. It's not a surprise for you. Or someone you know has recently died, and there's something about the peace of death, of that, yes. The peace, maybe you wanted to know if this person's soul is resting with peace or not. Maybe this was something that worried you. Or maybe someone who was extremely sick for several years. You know this person, you feel sorry for this person, but somehow, they were stuck to some machines. Sometimes people are very old, very sick, and they are in a lot of physical pain, but they can't pass peacefully. They don't want to live anymore due to their pain. But they are somehow, artificially being kept alive, or they feel guilty to leave because they know that people will miss them and they will grieve them. And so the passing is really hard. There's something about this situation finding a lot of relief and ease. Something is being made very easy and smooth here. I feel like the maiden, if this is you or someone around you, this is someone who has been feeling left out. This is also someone who is truly young and who is witnessing something for the first time. Someone has a little bit of a life lesson here, not a spiritual lesson, but just a normal human kind of disillusionment that some young people have. If someone maybe grew up in a very safe and peaceful environment and they have not learned how to deal with loss or grief or trauma or something, this is the first time they are truly witnessing something painful or scary. Besides seeing something like that in a movie or reading about it in a book, this is the first time that something is happening in someone's personal, close environment. So this person might be staring at this situation with very large eyes, being a little bit, I don't want to say shocked, but very touched and impressed by this situation. So this very young person could also be a child. If this is about a kind of death, I'm very sorry. But I feel like this person who is passing, it will find a lot of peace and relief. but someone very young might be scared by the situation. So it is very important that there's some healing to this. There's an older lady or an older man as well. Someone might even be a professional in some kind of field, or it's just someone in a private situation who has no professional qualifications of any kind of healing, whether it's emotional, psychological healing or physical healing. This could just be someone who is very empathetic and sensitive and very good at saying the right things in the right moment to help people mentally and emotionally. This person will be close to this young person, so yeah, I feel like this young person will have a good helping hand. Maybe you are one of these people here. Maybe you are the healer helping someone younger to understand something and to make them accept the natural ways of life. Or you are the younger person who is faced with something that you have never seen before, besides in a movie or in a book. And now something is happening in your closer environment, and you will have someone older who will carry you through this situation. Someone who is very experienced with this kind of stuff. But as I said, don't worry, it's not like a sudden death that you don't know about. It is something that has either already happened or something that you are already expecting to happen. You have known about it for a very long time. And for many or most of you, it's not even about death. It's just about moving. There could be a younger person watching someone move out, move away, and it could be scary or sad to them. Maybe it's a parent moving out after a divorce. Maybe it is their older sibling moving out, and not just moving into the neighborhood, into their own apartment. It could be, let's say this is a 12-year-old girl who has a much older brother who's 20 or I don't know, and they had a very close relationship, but now the brother is leaving home into a faraway foreign country. And this might be painful, sad to this younger sibling. It could be anything here. So you don't have to worry. If there's no one around you who recently died or who is seriously ill, then you don't have to worry about death here. It's just for the people who already know about that. This could even be someone who is not related to this maiden person. It could even be a teacher going into a retirement, someone who was of great significance for this young person. I feel like the healer is very, very experienced with this kind of situation, and this healer is very mature and wise, and she or he has already accepted that certain things are just natural in life and there is always movement in life. This is what we are supposed to understand. Sometimes we are stuck in situations for several years and there's not a lot of change, but sometimes there's also a lot of change, a lot of movement, even when we think, oh my God, it has been this way like for 5 or 10 years, nothing seems to change. And then suddenly a lot of things changes, like these cycles of repetition and then these cycles of constant change. The older you get used to that. Sometimes you're stuck. Sometimes there is so much change. And young people don't always understand that, but this healer person is very this person is not very shocked by this situation. Like, it's just a normal thing. There's even more wisdom, there is more spirituality. I said that your reading has a spiritual component to it. There's not only a life lesson for a young person in it, there is also a spiritual lesson for a young and an older person in it, for probably everyone involved here. So the white dragon is in my deck. It stands for the highest source, the highest knowledge, the highest wisdom. Yeah, the source of everything, the mastermind beyond or behind life. Secretly keeping an eye on everything while everyone has forgotten about her. Always knowing everything, watching everything, not interacting, just letting people live and learn, die, be reborn, learn again, and just watch for millions, billions of years. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.